The following is intended for mature audiences only. Discretion is advised.
Pillow fight, pillow fight.
This is so fun.
Pillow fighting.
Why is it so fun?
Pillow fight.
Hi everyone, it's me, Yamini. If you like Pillow Fight, please be sure to give it a follow, and if you listen on Apple Podcasts, rate and review it. That would mean the world to me. Enjoy the episode, and thank you so much for listening to Pillow Fight.
If you're following me on literally any platform, you probably know just how much I poop. And let me tell you, wiping your butt raw with toilet paper does not remove all the shit that's sitting on it. Thankfully, there's now a sleek bidet attachment that clips onto your existing toilet and sprays your butt completely clean with fresh water. It's called Tushy, and it's the best thing you can do for your butt. Tushy sprays directly to your ass and removes the poop completely, so you aren't sitting on bacteria that leads to nasty things like hemorrhoids, yeast infections, UTIs, and itchy assholes. And a Tushy bidet cuts toilet paper use by 80%, so it pays for itself in just a few months. Join millions of happy Hello Tushy customers, including me, right now, and have a clean butt with every flush. Go to hellotushy.com/yams to get 10% off your order. That's hellotushy.com/YAMZ.
Pillow Fight.
Pillow fight, pillow fight.
Is yours made of
And
goose?
we got feathers flying everywhere.
Mine's made of goose.
Pillow fight, pillow fight.
This is so fun.
Pillow fighting.
Why is it so fun?
Pillow fight.
Today on Pillow Fight, I'm joined by Nika, Lomazzo, and Anya, Volz, New York City-based comedians and co-hosts of the podcast Best Mistakes. You can find Nika at Nika Lomazzo on Twitter and Instagram, and Anya at Anya Volz on Twitter and Instagram. On this episode of Pillow Fight, we talk Lady Gaga's dogs, frightening TikTok teens, and entertainers with foot fetishes.
Fuck. Marry? Kill. Fuck, marry, kill.
So for the Fuck, Marry, Kill, the first thing is that last week, Lady Gaga's dog walker was shot in the chest and 2 of her French bulldogs were stolen. And they have since been randomly returned to the Los Angeles police with no explanation as to where they came from or what happened, but they are back. Number 2, a couple weeks ago, a TikTok account was posting clips of what appeared to be Tom Cruise, telling weird stories and golfing and doing magic, but it turned out to be a bunch of deep fakes. And number 3, the 2 white women in charge of comedy, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, hosted the Golden Globes last weekend, and they gave a cute little spiel dissing the Hollywood Foreign Press Association for being like white and old and out of touch. Felt a little bit ironic to me, but yeah. So Lady Gaga's dogs, Tom Cruise deep fakes, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler at the Golden Globes. Fuck, marry, kill. What would you do?
All right. I kill Amy Poehler and Tina Fey at the Golden Globes, marry the Tom Cruise deepfake, fuck Lady Gaga's dogs and dog walker being shot. I don't really know much about deepfakes. I know it's a conspiracy that like we're replacing celebrities and politicians with like, you know, a double, but I never have actually looked into it. But I just love the idea of deepfakes actually being real. So I would personally love to marry Tom Cruise's deepfake.
The deep fake is probably also not a Scientologist.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. I was literally gonna like Tom Cruise, but not a Scientologist.
Yeah. I want what's fuckable about Lady Gaga's dogs situation. I feel like there's an element of mystery around that, which is kind of sexy.
Yeah, mysterious drama. I mean, I love like real celebrity scandals like that. Like my dog was stolen and my dog walker was shot. That's glam. Like that's the Hollywood I want back.
Well, also it's kind of hot that he like fought for her dogs. Like that's hot of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also hot of her that she unapologetically has 2 breeder dogs. Like go off, queen.
She has 3 breeder dogs.
I think that's so hot and so glam. I love when people unapologetically get a dog from a breeder.
I feel complete opposite of that. I think it's kind of atrocious, but this is tough. This is a tough one. I think I would fuck Tom Cruise's deepfake for kind of the same reason that you would marry it. It's just a non-Scientologist Tom Cruise, so that's hot to me. It's also kind of hot on like a sci-fi level to like fuck kind of a product of AI, you know? Like I feel like that's going to happen in a movie at some point. I would marry, I guess, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler criticizing someone else for being exactly what they are, because that just kind of that feels representative of like marriage to me. I think that's what marriage is. And I guess I would not kill Lady Gaga's dogs, but I would kill that situation because that's terrifying and sad. And I feel terrible for this guy getting shot.
You know, it was so funny to me that the news headlines were like, 2 of Lady Gaga's dogs have been stolen. And by the way, the dog walker was shot. It's like,
And like super small print.
yeah. No, it's like this guy almost died. And
even she tweeted about her dogs being shot. And then in the reply tweet to her own tweet is when she mentions her dog walker. I was like, you fucking cunt.
I love Lady Gaga, but that's so just classically her not getting it. But ugh. I was going to say that the fucking deep fake sounds like the next Her, like that movie with Joaquin.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's where we're going. And I think
for sure.
I think there's could be VR technology where you could do it really soon.
Oh my God, I would fucking love that.
Yeah.
Like that Black Mirror episode where they can fuck each other for virtual reality. What?
Which deep fake would be the first one you would fuck if this were an option? And
Paul
also,
Mescal's.
would partners consider it cheating if it's a deep fake?
Probably, but
I think if both partners are allowed to fuck deep fakes, it's not cheating, and it's happening. You know?
Yeah.
Because I think it's kind of like the next step after porn, almost.
Yeah, it's like masturbating.
Mm-hmm. All right, so whose deep fake are you fucking?
Ian Somerhalder's.
Okay, I'm fucking Paul Mescal's.
Okay, I'm trying really hard to think of who I want.
I feel uncomfortable objectifying a real life woman and saying one of the women I would.
I feel like I have to give a man's name. I think I would do maybe
Wait, why would either of you give a woman's name?
Because we're.
Do you fuck women?
Because we're sinners.
Wait, are you guys queer? Because I have to go if that's the case.
We heard that you were a little bit homophobic, and this is your.
Yeah, it's why I transitioned. I'm a self-hating.
Nika doesn't associate with queerdos.
This is exposure therapy right now.
No, yeah, absolutely no queerdos. I fucking hate living in Brooklyn. Everyone here is a freak. I had a bunch of people flood my mentions a few months ago, and they were like, unless you're a man who loves an MLM, male loving, whatever the fuck, you can't say faggot. And so I replied with the Amy Poehler meme from Mean Girls that says, oh, you faggots keep me exhausted. And then I had a bunch more people be like, you just called this person a faggot, that's so fucked up. And I just kept replying with different faggot memes.
I love how just unencumbered you are on Twitter. I wish I had that confidence.
I mean, I'm probably never gonna get hired for anything I want to get hired for because I'm so unhinged and almost too honest on Twitter. I don't know. I think it's trauma from having to spend a year when I was in politics, just biting my tongue on politics, on everything, because I was associated with other people. So now I'm everyone can literally suck my dick. I don't care.
My fun way to engage in that is to like your comments and I'm
I appreciate
that's
it.
my participation in this. I've taken a side. But
yeah, when you're both famous and I'm not because Best Calb had me blacklisted, just remember that my tweets kept you entertained.
Well, I've been saying this. Maybe Best Calb is too far beyond my reach, but every person who I have, someone that I know has had a really bad interaction with them and they don't like them, and I feel now that I don't like them even though I don't know them. I've just been thinking about them and thinking about the fact that that person has succeeded in something and all my friends deserve better than them, and then they kind of stop growing after that.
Yeah, that's happened for me too. Although, it's the night is young on all of our careers, but
yeah, I understand enough how the industry works.
Yeah.
So I'm sure someone with her, I wouldn't say she has any power, but her level of clout and who she knows, I'm ugh, maybe I did something wrong.
If Michael Che can be as unhinged online as he is and still be the head writer of Saturday Night Live, I feel like you can be outspoken. I don't know. It's a weird rule that I think that mostly, not that Michael Che isn't marginalized, obviously he's a black man, but he is a man, and I think it's mostly all other identities that put this weird pressure on ourselves. And I think it's not weird, it's because we do get punished more for it, but to like be perfect for our careers when like that is not really the precedent that has been set, you know?
Yeah.
It would be one thing if Nika was going around using slurs that people don't call her, but like you're not. It's not like you're saying anything like racist. You're just literally using like queer slurs that people use against you and have used against you, and like it's whatever. It's really dumb for 14-year-olds to think that they can like tell you what's appropriate to reclaim or not.
Personally, I feel, and I'm saying this for you both because neither of you are, neither of you identify as being a trans person, at least to my knowledge. If bisexual people can use dyke and fag, which I think they totally can, like I'm pretty much, I feel like any queer person, I feel like tranny is like the only slur that we're like, no one can say that except trans women. Like that's the one. And I'm like, literally, I'm sorry, if you're a part of the LGBTQIA fucking X, Y, and Z community, use whatever queer slur you want. Call me a tranny, I don't care. Like, as long as you're like, it just
as long as it isn't in a derogatory way, right?
Yeah, like I literally, I have like a straight guy friend who I will literally call me a tranny when we're joking with each other. And I've never once been like, how dare you? Because I literally gave him permission. And it's so funny that like young trans people on Twitter try to act like that where it is 110% off limits. But of course it's always white fucking trannies.
Every person I notice who gets mad about some very like specific niche part of queer discourse is always like a white keyboard warrior who's like 16 years old. And I'm like, go do your math homework and like go eat your mom's like baked potato on the table. And like, you need those time on the internet.
Usually also, and I don't know what the correlation here is, but they usually always have a K-pop Avi. And I'm like,
yes.
What is going on here?
K-pop Avis and like a Stan account Avi. Those are the two scariest like corners of Twitter for me. Well, I'm going to add my thoughts into this fuck, marry, kill, because we're all going to have a different take and I love that. So I personally would kill the Tom Cruise deepfakes, not because I don't think they're hot and fun, just because I think they're all over TikTok. And I think the people on TikTok are kind of crazy and really impressionable. And I'm worried that this will like get like somehow trick kids into Scientology. Like that in the back of my mind, that fear is there. Because he did like, there's one video where he was doing like the maniacal laugh that he does in like the Scientology recruiting videos. And I was just like, something feels sketchy here. You know, Scientology, they love the entertainment world, and I feel like TikTok is just the next branch of that.
This is Scientology grooming Charlie D'Amelio. Is that what you're gonna say?
Like Charlie D'Amelio is going to, if we don't stop it now, like she's going to be in the ranks with Elizabeth Moss and Tom Cruise, and you know.
I'm gonna join. My like biggest fear is I've always had a big fear about Scientology, that I would like try to join as like a joke and then they would actually suck me in and then I would just be a full-blown Scientologist. Like I could see that happening to me.
But Nika, think of, you would be such an iconic guest on Leah Remini's show.
Maybe I should be a Scientologist and help them get me famous.
And then you can leave and be on Leah Remini's show.
Okay,
I think.
Can we wrap this up? Because I actually have to go do some research now.
I think Scientology, like if it gives you a career, you know, I'm not hating on it. What makes me mad is when the people are Scientologists and just like they just work in the Scientology giving tours. It's like, why couldn't you do for these people what you did for everyone else?
I'm concerned about anyone who's a Scientologist and isn't famous. I'm like, so you're just here.
Yeah. That's bleak. Like, babe.
Aww.
You have to tell me if you're a Scientologist just to be one.
You have to tell me if you're a Scientologist because you actually believe it.
Yeah. I would also marry the Tina Fey and Amy Poehler thing because it's like, it's annoying, but it's like the annoying I know, you know, like I wouldn't expect anything different. It's like, I get used to it. I can live with it. I think like, I don't hate them and like, they're not like insufferable to me. They're just annoying.
Yeah.
And so I would marry that just because I know what to expect. It's not gonna throw me any curveballs. And then I would fuck the Lady Gaga's dog situation just because it's like, it's glamorous. There's intrigue, there's mystery, there's romance. You know, this, I think this dog, I want like a movie about the dog walker. Like, Like in my dream in this movie, like the dog walker falls in love with like the pop star whose dogs he walks because like he took care of them and protected them and fought for them. And then she's
Wait,
like,
my mind immediately went to that the movie would be like a Uncut Gems or like Good Time kind of situation where he's having a day that is like out of this fucking world stressful because he's being chased. Like he's the one being chased by like a mobster. And then that just happens to get like a pop star's dogs involved because that happens to be his job.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's because of other shit, you know? Like they don't even know that it's Lady Gaga's dogs. That's what I'm picturing the movie. And then they're like, oh, fuck.
Like he's involved in some deeper thing.
Yeah.
Like he owes someone money and like, it's like, you don't have the money, I'll take the dog.
Like somehow he's the interesting one.
I want to play the dogs.
We'll do it like, they'll do it like cats and you can wear.
Yeah. Me and Jennifer Hudson will play the two French bulldogs.
I want to see your self-tape for that role.
That's my self-tape.
I think that's what I would do. I think all three of those situations are upsetting to different degrees.
Yeah.
But
her dogs are back. He's going to live. It's fine.
I hope the tragedy continues to unfold and her dogs die of like COVID next or something.
I want to just know like how they arrived at the police station, like who brought them there. And like, it was like a random woman who claims like who didn't say anything. It's like,
please, she was totally connected.
Yeah.
I think it's on par with the Elisa Lam mystery. You know, we'll just never know.
Well, I mean, you know, we do know what happened.
We will never know. I mean, about like how it happened.
Yeah, she killed herself.
Okay, but what I'm saying is we don't know that for sure. The same way we don't know for sure that the person that returned the dogs is connected to the situation. There's just no way to know, and we'll never know for sure. Let's get a 4-part Netflix documentary about this.
The person who stole the dogs was Elisa Lam.
Dun, dun, dun. They see little paw prints outside the Cecil Hotel.
They hear dogs swimming in the water tank.
The housekeeper comes in, the hotel room cleaner comes in and is like discovers the dogs and takes them back.
Yeah,
I want
LA housekeeper that brought the dogs back.
Yeah.
I want LA is crazy, but so am I tattooed on my lower back. My favorite Elisa Lam quote.
This Lady Gaga's dogs thing was just such a events where it's like Mad Libs almost. Like you just pulled random events out of 3 different hats and like put together an event. And that's what it feels like. It's like Lady Gaga, like attempted murder, like dog theft, like so.
This is all a setup. It was all a setup. She set this all up.
In my humble opinion, I think that she offered too much money too quickly for the dogs, for the reward.
Why?
Well, because the whole reason that you would steal Lady Gaga's dogs is for the money, for the reward money. And she immediately made that amount really, really high. And I feel like they would have, like, people who need money badly enough to like steal Lady Gaga's dogs for money would have returned her dogs. They would have taken less. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And she just immediately was like $500,000. Like they would have taken $50,000, I think. But is that not incentivizing people to like now know how much she's willing to pay for her dog? Like, I feel
good. I hope something happens to Lady Gaga. I want to see like I want to see the Manson murders.
Okay, Nika, now you're definitely not getting a job.
I don't want Lady Gaga to be killed, but I don't want anyone to be killed. But it would just be, start stealing dogs. I want everyone start like robbing famous people's houses again.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Make LA scared again.
Yeah, the bling ring.
The bling ring back.
The bling ring, yeah. The bling ring is like Praxis, I think.
Bring it back, but make it the Manson murders. Bring it back, but make it like a Manson family situation. I don't want anyone killed, but I don't want the bling ring kids. I want some like crazy suburban white girls on a lot of acid.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone killed, but I also don't want some shitty 16-year-olds with a reality show to be the ones doing this. Like, I want it to be just
okay, fine. I'll go to LA and start robbing people's houses. Whatever.
I think
I'm looking up flight.
This is why famous people have trust issues too. Because like first thing that I thought was like, well, and then when I found out the dog walk, well, well, I don't know. It still could be true. The dog walker getting shot ups the stakes for sure on this, but I was like, what if the dog walker like set this up so that he could split the reward money with the friend that like, and it turned into like Scream, you know, where they like stab each other to get away with it. His friend like shot him like too many times and he's like, whoa. But then like, I'm sure Lady Gaga
that really hurt.
But yeah, I'm sure Lady Gaga probably felt terrible that he got shot while he was walking her dogs. I bet he got money out of this too. And I'm like, I wonder.
I bet. I feel like she probably just threw a bunch of money at everything.
Yeah, but so that's why I'm saying I feel like the dog walker, not that I'm not accusing him of this, but it could very well be that a dog walker would plan something like this. You know what I mean?
This is why I would fuck this situation. It's ripe with mystery and curiosity, and I'm dying to dive in.
Would you rather, would you rather, would you rather? Let's play a game of Would You Rather.
We just talked about how Scientology is going to get Charli D'Amelio next, but I want to know if you would rather be taken down on national TV by David Letterman or someone like him, a la like the Paris Hilton thing, or have to hang out and be seen and watched at Saddle Ranch with famous TikTok teens. Like, which experience would you rather have?
Like just being around famous TikTok teens at Saddle Ranch? Is that what you're saying?
You have to like hang out with them. Like you have to do what they want.
Do I have to dance with them?
If they want you to, if they say go dance monkey, then you gotta dance.
I think I would rather get taken down by Letterman because I think I have the chops to take him down in return.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could like kind of put him in his place a little bit. Kind of like the way Lindsay Lohan does, but I think I'd be more brutal. Like when Lindsay Lohan like kind of regained control over the situation when he was being mean to her. I feel like I would like, I have it in me to be like an enormous cunt to him, but in a funny way so that like he can't like point out what an enormous cunt I'm being, you know, because it's like the audience is on my side. I think that's what I would rather. I don't think I would want to be in that situation, but I think I could handle it better. With the TikTok teens, I would just absolutely melt down. I would not know how to be around that kind of energy. Men have already been mean to me a lot, you know, like that.
I would do the same thing as you. The TikTok teens really, really frighten me. Like I feel like I'm I'm like older than most of them, and they're just so frightening, especially those guys who like, they just make videos of them like flexing and looking in the screen like this, like that just is the most terrifying thing ever to me. And it just takes me to like, I feel like I would be hate crimed in that situation being put there. And it would make me really uncomfortable. I think that I wouldn't have fun. I can't dance. So what would I do?
Yeah, it's a sinister situation. There's something dark afoot in that situation. Oh my God, we need to Manson murder the TikTok teens. That I'd be fine with.
Leave them alone. You know what? I would love to hang out with the TikTok teens. So would you rather? That's my final answer. I would have fun with them.
Nika, you're like barely even on TikTok. Do you like you? And when we say teens, we mean the hype house. So they're actually in their 20s and they're just weirdos.
Yeah, I'd rather do that than have to deal with old.
Like you would hang out with the fucking hype house? Blech. Okay, all right.
Give me stimulants and I can hang out with anyone.
That's true. Can confirm.
Maybe you could teach them some like valuable life lessons like while you're over there.
I would teach them how to take a proper. I have like hung out with teenagers before at parties where there have been like people my age and then teenagers. And I often have found myself the 3 times I've been in the situation being like, wait, it would be really psychotic and fun to go hang out with the teenagers. And then I hang out with them and I teach them inappropriate things like how to properly take a shot of tequila. So I would love to hang out with TikTok teens.
The only teens involved in the TikTok teens there's like only 3 actual teenagers. The rest of them are like,
all
in
right,
their
so I'll hang out with
unhinged.
the 3 actual. I'm unhinged and I'm in my 20s. Sounds fun. Sign me up. I'm looking at tickets to LAX right now so I can go to Saddle Ranch. Hey Siri.
You're a good kind of unhinged. They're just ugh.
I would just rather do that than have to fucking deal with David Letterman because then my career would really be over. I would not do well with him trying to take me down because I wouldn't
she would
try to be funny. I would like I would like go for the jugular.
Yeah, but people would stand that, I think. In this day and age.
I think in this day and age your fans would go hard for you and fight anyone on the internet who didn't feel that way.
Yeah,
right,
I feel like if it happened
guys.
Maybe back when it happened to Paris Hilton and she responded by going for the jugular, everyone would be like, that wasn't very ladylike. Yeah. But now people would be like, that's fucking dope.
Yeah.
TikTok situation would be stressful and annoying to me, but like I wouldn't get a whole lot out of it because it's not like these teens are tagging me in their TikToks, you know? Like I'm not gonna get any clout out of this. But if I, Anya Volz, am sitting on a couch and David Letterman is being mean to me, my career is blowing the fuck up, you know? Like I am in headlines the next day. Like you actually get something out of that stressful experience. Whereas with like TikTok teens, you're just like, God, that was a fucking terrible day. Unless they're tagging me. And then it's a tie.
But if you get a tag from the TikTok teens, the people
you're not getting the followers you want.
they're getting the 15-year-old followers.
Yeah,
the scariest thing. Okay, second, would you rather? Would you rather smoke Seth Rogen's weed with Lena Dunham or drink Kendall Jenner's tequila with Ellen DeGeneres?
Oh, I would love to smoke weed with Lena Dunham.
Yeah, I'm gonna second that.
That'd be so much fun. Yeah.
I would choose that too.
I think she's probably really fun to hang out with. I think it's just like her public persona, not even her persona. I think it's more the public opinion of her that has shaped how people feel about her more than her actual actions. I'm not saying that she's been perfect, obviously, but I think it's just like cool to hate her. So now anytime she does anything annoying, people are like, see how terrible she is. And I feel like everyone who's met her like has just raved about how cool she is. Like I've never heard anybody say anything bad about her that actually knows her in real life. Whereas Ellen DeGeneres is the polar opposite of that.
Also, I feel like if you give Ellen like Kendall Jenner tequila, put it in her, I feel like she might get angrier.
No, I feel like
a violent drunk, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get drunk with Ellen.
No. Doesn't sound fun. Yeah, I would also smoke Seth Rogen's weed with Lena Dunham because Seth Rogen's weed, that sounds much better than Kendall Jenner's tequila. And I feel like Lena Dunham high also would be like, she probably has like a lot of interesting thoughts that would be fun to hear. Even
she's also, out of the two of them, she's the one that would actually talk to you in that situation. Ellen would just drink her tequila and like not make eye contact. Lena would be like, so dumb. Lena would be like, oh, that's so cool that you do that. Like she would like ask you about your life, you know?
Yeah. I would feel like we'd have some philosophical conversations in there and like have a laugh.
She also was criticized and still to this day is criticized. It's always been and always will be by a bunch of white people who are projecting because white girls who live in New York and work in the entertainment industry or work in the media love to hate on Lena Dunham and girls because they think that if they criticize her, they can pretend like they're not literally the target audience for that show. That show is so funny and so good because it's literally what my life was like at one point. Like, it's so wild. Obviously not every white person, but it's always like white girls. So I'm like, I know that your parents help you pay your rent and that most of your friends are white. So I don't know why you're choosing to hate on Lena Dunham for literally writing a show about your life.
About your
it's like insane to me. She also, the whole time she also was like, the show is like supposed to, I'm like making fun of myself. And everyone like took it way too seriously. Which is funny that Broad City never got the same blowback.
It did eventually, but just not to the same degree. But I think also because it wasn't as much of a like, it's not that Abby and Alana are not self-aware, but they're kind of not self-aware about certain things. I don't know. Like Lena Dunham is like, fucking heard, you know, like she has taken the criticism into consideration, you know, like she knows all the shit that she did wrong and that she has done wrong, but like she also she's a like woman in this world, and I feel like anybody that is a woman, especially if you have any kind of like public eye on you, obviously none of us can relate to the amount of like scrutiny she's been under, but like as soon as you have any amount of like public opinion about you as a woman, it's like the amount of criticism that comes pouring in, it's like almost indecipherable what is worth taking into account and what's not, because some of it is just like so fucking batshit that I kind of don't blame someone like Lena Dunham not being like 100% like, oh my God, you guys are so right, I'm a problematic white lady, because to like us, quote unquote, from our side of the street, that like looks like the only criticism she's getting. But if you're on her, like she's also getting it from like Republicans and from edgelords and from incels, and it's like all of it kind of turns into the same noise. So I don't blame her for it taking a while for her to come around to realizing some of her problematic shit.
I think there's hope for her still.
Yeah, and I want to get high with her. I loved her in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I thought she was a really good casting choice for that character.
Wait, who was she in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
She was one of the Manson people, not that did the murder, but on the ranch. And she's like, you know, kind of like this. She's like the pregnant one or something.
Oh, I think I do remember this. There were like fun little cameos. Like Kate Berlant was in it too, right?
I definitely have my issues with that movie, but I did enjoy it. I think it was like a good movie as far as just like storytelling and entertainment goes. It was a little bit too long and there were definitely some weird problematic elements to it. But she was one of the things I liked a lot about it.
The one joke that I liked of Amy Poehler and Tina Fey's was that they were saying, like, they were talking about how in the audience they had all like frontline healthcare workers who were fully vaccinated instead of like celebrities. And then they were like, you guys can act like them. So just be drunk, be loud. Oprah writes her name on the table a bunch of times. Like Meryl Streep like has forgotten what movie she's there for. Quentin Tarantino gets under the table and starts looking at everyone's feet. And that was like my favorite one. But yeah.
That's funny. It's true. He's got weird feet stuff.
He does. Also, Dan Schneider, the like victorious iCarly guy, also really into feet in a weird way.
Oh, I haven't not heard that, but that's interesting.
Because if you watch any of those shows, like feet are a huge thing. Like they have to give like foot massages to each other so much. Like people have like crazy foot problems, and like
there's also that scene in iCarly where they like draw faces on their toes, and then they have like a whole show with their toes.
Yes.
Oh my God, creepy.
It's like Quentin Tarantino, Dan Schneider, feet. I did the Twitter handshake meme for all the listeners. Jeanette McCurdy isn't coming back to the iCarly reboot because she doesn't like Dan Schneider, and she's not afraid to say it.
Well, she also has very publicly and openly quit acting. She's never acting again, she said. She only wants to direct and write from here on out.
Interesting.
Because I've been really kind of fascinated by Jeanette McCurdy lately because she has like a YouTube channel and she's just like very outspoken about her experience. And she wrote and directed a short film about her childhood that is like very illuminating about like what she went through on iCarly and what led up to her getting on iCarly. And it was just like her white trash mom wanted her to make money for the family, kind of like Britney Spears' parents. Like she just was thrown into entertainment to just put food on the table for the whole family. She never wanted to be an actor. She just had a lot of charisma and was lucky enough to get cast on things, but she just like hated it the whole time. And she's deeply embarrassed by everything she's ever been in. And she said something along the lines of, you know, because she went on to star with Ariana Grande on Sam and Cat. And she's like, you know, Ariana Grande is now known for being Ariana Grande. Like her Nickelodeon past doesn't like haunt her the way it does those of us who haven't done much since then in the public eye. And she's like, that's kind of my dream, is to go get known for something else so that nobody ever fucking talks to me about iCarly or Sam and Cat ever again. Okay. But yeah, I'm also interested to see what this iCarly reboot is even going to look like.
What has Miranda Cosgrove been doing for the last 10 years?
A really terrifying thing happened where I forget the exact details, but towards the beginning of quarantine, she like was being followed or like noticed this car outside of her house for a while, and it was creeping her out. And then when she was gone, like when she wasn't home, this guy tried to break into her house, and then he like lit himself on fire in her lawn and died.
Oh my God.
And so that like has been happening, I guess, is she's been like stalked, and then he killed himself on her lawn.
That happened to another celeb. I forget.
I thought you were gonna say that happened to one of my friends.
This happened to another celebrity who was being stalked for like by multiple people, and then like a woman overdosed in her car and like parked her car in front of their house and then overdosed. And I forget which actress it was that this happened to. So she was like dealing with stalkers, and then that happened at the same time as she was like in court trying to get a protective order against one of her multiple stalkers.
Okay, gun to your head, you have to stalk somebody. Who is it?
Keira Knightley.
Keira Knightley. Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, she's been stalked before, so that would be really traumatic for her. So I would stalk her in a way that she didn't know.
Yeah, just a friendly, from a distance lurk.
Wait, I lied. Well, Keira Knightley or Viola Davis, because Viola Davis has been fucking negging me for years on the internet with our internet friendship. And at this point, I'm like, you've never asked me to hang out. So I'd stalk Viola Davis.
Okay, cool. I think I'll just be a cliche and say I would stalk like Harry Styles or something.
Oh, you're so boring.
Well, I fucking love him. Sorry.
I would love to stalk Cara Delevingne because I feel like there's all these like mysterious relationships surrounding her, and I want to know kind of like I want to like hear some of the fights, and I want to kind of be able to do a more accurate timeline of what's going on in there, and like we hear like they have a sex swing, and then 5 minutes later like Ashley is with G-Eazy, and then like her dating life is just, I can't keep up, and I think it would be fun to like live it in real time and watch it. So
yeah, no, totally. I feel that. I mean, like honestly, I would stalk Britney Spears just to know what the fuck is going on over there.
Yeah.
But I don't want to actually stalk Britney Spears because she's just so sweet and I don't want to scare her. I feel like Harry wouldn't be scared of me. Like I don't think I would scare him.
He probably has like ton of like teen girls following him around who he like knows how to handle.
Totally. And I'm not gonna bother him. Yeah. I'm just gonna watch, you know?
Yeah.
Like
yeah. I feel like me and Keira Knightley would just become friends.
Okay. Also, Nika, how did Dev Patel not make your list for celebrities you would stalk?
Because here's the thing. I am not obsessed with Dev Patel the way that I am obsessed with Keira Knightley and obsessed with Viola Davis. I want to marry Dev Patel. So you're already in territory where I think he would be terrified of you. Like he would not. All I do
is Dev Patel's Stan account, and
it's not anymore.
And he's the background of your phone. Like you would.
First of all, I don't know why. Hold on. I don't know why you have to out me like that.
That's a good picture of him.
Right?
And then
and then this is my home screen. But that is why I wouldn't stalk him. But it's just like, I'm waiting for Dev Patel to dump his plain looking white girlfriend so he can start dating another plain looking white girl, i.e. me. It's clear that he is into wafy white girls with bobs who look like we haven't eaten in a few days. So when he breaks up with Tilda, I'll be waiting. Yeah, they met on the set of Hotel Mumbai and it's really funny. Him and Frida Pinto both broke up with each other after 6 years and then started dating like really average looking white people that like are not as hot as their ex. But Dev Patel is definitely winning because Tilda is definitely like, she has sex appeal, even though she's kind of basic looking. But Frida Pinto's boyfriend just looks like any guy that you would find at a bar in Brooklyn who likes to hike. I don't know what she's doing.
Probably getting fucking dicked down, you know?
Oh my God, I know. I know that Tilda is just getting hailed by Dev Patel. Just absolutely every night. Like, and then just taking 6-hour naps with him. Dear God, I've seen what you have done for others, and I ask you to do the same for me.
I remember the day the pictures of him and his white girlfriend were like on the internet. The entire like all the side of Twitter that's like brown women was like truly in hysterics. Like they were like, oh no, like what's gonna happen? Like we'll never find love. And Dev Patel and his white girlfriend like ruined everything. Like this is proof no one will ever love me. And I was like, oh God.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. Well, to all of the brown women who were feeling that way, I'm very sorry because my reaction was, yes. My reaction was that could be me one day. Because he really did not strike me as like the kind of guy that would be into like dating white women just because he was with Frida Pinto for 6 years. So I just assumed when they broke up, he would date like another Indian woman because he's like pretty active in India. He's there like all the time.
I bet they are having a great time together.
They're having such hot, boring missionary sex. And that's all I want.
Oh, man. Wow, you're right. I just realized you're right. He is definitely the king of missionary sex.
He's a Taurus with a Venus in Pisces. He's definitely the king of missionary. Yeah, he is probably so boring in bed, and he likes a lot of heavy eye contact, and he smiles at you.
I get major like good at sex, but very vanilla energy from.
Yeah, which is all I want. I talk a good game on Twitter because I kind of have to for my sex work brand. But I'm pretty vanilla. I'm like,
me
don't
too.
you dare, don't you dare, don't you dare spit in my mouth. If you try to choke me, I'm gonna kill myself.
I I hate being choked. I don't know.
No, I'm like, call me like a good girl and pat me on the head. That's all I want.
Yeah.
I don't even like getting my blood pressure taken. You think I want you choking me? Like.
Truth or dare? Truth or dare?
Anya, truth or dare?
I mean, I literally don't care. Which would be more interesting to you?
I have a dare that I wrote out specifically for you. So
Okay, dare.
Okay. I feel like you in your like picture on Twitter, I get a lot of like Miley Cyrus energy whenever I see it. And I want you to do an impression of Miley Cyrus, either musically or just conversationally.
Okay, present day Miley Cyrus or like Hannah Montana Miley Cyrus?
Pick whatever you want. Give us it's artistic choice.
Damn, I wish I had like practiced this because I do have a very specific image in my mind of I can't even get in that register. She's like I can't do it. She's like, what's something that she would say? Oh my God. I can't even do the Tennessee accent because now she's like down here. She's like really deep, but she used to be like up here and she would like be like, oh my God, so I'm going to talk about this and it's going to be, it's like going to be so cool. I'm Hannah Montana. I'm like, oh my God. And my dad's Billy Ray Cyrus. But now she's like, now she's like at a register I can't even reach.
Yeah.
I can't think of a sentence that she said, but yeah, that was my
I liked the range that you gave. We got,
it was more me describing her, which my apologies.
No, it's okay.
But I like just literally my voice can't do what her voice does. You know, it's like in a completely it's in a completely different place than my voice box.
Yeah. I want to see if I can do it.
You're maybe a little bit closer. You're a little bit like,
she has like a little bit of like a,
and she something she does is she begins her sentences with like smacking her lips. And she's a little nasally.
Well, I don't.
She sounds like she's getting over a cold.
Well, yeah, my thoughts on my latest album. I drew a lot of influence from Metallica and other rock bands that I, grow up listening to because, my dad is a musician and I had Stevie Nicks up on that album. And
she's like, it's really important. I can't even, it's like, I get too nasally. My voice is too high for it. It's really important to, I just think it's really important to rescue dogs and working with Billy Idol was a dream come true.
A dream come true is so accurate. It's so accurate. A dream come true. It's just a dream come true. Yeah.
Nika, truth or dare?
Truth.
Isn't it true that I just put you on the witness stand? Okay, truth. Fuck, I don't have anything. I know everything about you.
Girly, no, you don't.
Well, God, this is hard. Nika, what do you want people to know? What don't you want people to know? That's actually more interesting.
I don't care. I dead named myself on Twitter last night. You can know anything you want.
That's the thing, right? That's why truth is not that interesting.
All right, fine. I'll do a dare.
Okay. I dare you. Fuck, all the things. I'm having invasive thoughts that I don't actually want to dare you. I'm having invasive thoughts that are not good. Okay. I dare you to text Elisa, text your sister that you're detransitioning and you're moving out and just get her reaction. Do you think she'll text back in time for us to get a reaction?
No, she won't. So maybe we should do another one. I can just talk to her through the wall.
Okay, yeah, do that.
You want? Hold on. I'm detransitioning. Hey, Lisa, I'm detransitioning and moving out. I said I'm detransitioning and moving out. She said, okay. Sorry, that was for truth or dare for this podcast I'm currently on. That actually doesn't faze her because last year I was like, I'm non-binary again. And I shaved my head and changed my pronouns. So she's already been through that.
You're right. That was a bad dare, I guess. I've always been this bad at truth or dare since the first time I ever played it. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
What would make you most comfortable? All right, Nika, your turn.
Truth or dare?
I'll do a dare.
All right. I dare you to make a Follow Friday list, even though it's Tuesday, but it's just my name over and over and over and over again until you run out of characters.
Oh, I can totally do that.
Nika's just like, I just want more followers. I dare you to give me more followers.
Listen, if I do another...
It's a ploy, but it works.
My dares are always inappropriate because I was going to dare Anya to tell us which male comedian she has had the best sex with.
Oh, and it's somebody like literally you could ask me, I would say I would name anybody else for the answer to any other question, but the answer to that question, I feel like I would get a cease and desist because he's too famous.
Well, this is why I'm just doing this dare because I go overboard with my dares. People are going to be like, is Yamini okay? You can delete that within 1 minute, by the way. I'm just playing the game.
On the last episode, I was dared to tweet that I got into Juilliard, and you know how many congratulations I got in the first 2 minutes? I felt so horrible. People were following me. People said, you're the next talented star of our generation, and I was like, oh, I'm lying to all of you.
I did see that. I was like, what?
That's so funny.
Because I knew it was a joke immediately, but I just wasn't sure for what purpose.
Oh, I can't wait for them to all follow me and then unfollow me within a day when they realize that I'm on Twitter 72 hours a day. It'll always happen.
Okay, my post has put up.
Oh, I love it.
Nika, let us know immediately when you get followers from that.
I will. Oh, I just got one.
Motherfuck.
Nika, truth or dare?
Wait, so I get to dare you something too, possibly?
Dare.
Dare.
No. Yeah, right.
Dare. Okay. I want you whoever is the last person you stalked on Twitter or Instagram, I want you to DM them mentioning some fact about something in their old photos or tweets.
Okay. Let me think about who I last stalked. I'm gonna look right now.
You looked gorgeous in your prom dress.
All right, let's see.
Or send them a picture from deep in their timeline just saying, who is this?
I'm trying to think, who did I last?
Wait, was it Brantley?
Oh, it was Brantley.
You should DM Brantley that picture that you thought was his girlfriend that's actually Farah.
Okay.
And ask him, is this your girlfriend?
Okay.
Brantley Bryce.
First I have to follow him.
Wait, so Brantley Bryce is a comedian and my friend that Nika stalked because we're going upstate with him this weekend. And
this is so annoying. He's gonna think I'm such a crazy bitch.
No, because you can immediately after he'll think it's really funny. Brantley has a very good sense of humor. He'll think it's funny.
Okay, I just sent it.
I promise he'll think it's funny. But Brantley is very, very gay. But Nika, yes. Nika said something about because I was talking about us going upstate, and then she said something about well, I know Brantley's straight because he has a girlfriend, and I was like, first of all, you don't know Brantley. What are you talking about? And so I had to bring out of her that she had stalked him, found that picture, which is not even the most recent picture of him with a woman. It's just a picture. And it was see, isn't this his girlfriend? And it's Farah Brooke, who is a comedian also. And my friend. And
it's from July 7th, 2020.
Pregnant with another man's baby. Or no, she just had a baby with another man. I was like, no, that's not his girlfriend.
All right, truth or dare?
Dare.
Okay. I dare you to DM Niles and tell him that it's making you really upset that he continues to flirt with me on Twitter.
Okay, I will. Okay. Should I text him or DM him? If I text him, it'll be more serious, I feel.
Yeah, text him.
Should-
He's gonna post.
should-
He's not gonna respond. He's just gonna post a photo of him looking nervous, smoking weed on Twitter.
Yeah.
Wait, okay. What should I say though? Like, should I make it seem like I'm like actually upset?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been meaning to talk to you about this.
We need to talk.
It really bothers me. You flirt with Nika on Twitter. Send.
Amazing.
I hope.
We'll see.
Sorry, Niles.
We'll see what happens.
Sorry, Niles.
Niles blocks both of us.
I want him to reply.
Yeah, I want your friend to reply and to read the message.
Truth or dare?
Truth.
Okay.
I feel like we've only done dares this whole time. So I feel like I should.
Well, because I don't know.
Yeah.
Once again, I keep only having invasive thoughts about like things that would be too real. I'm like, tell me your least favorite Twitter mutual, but like that's actually like I don't know. I don't want to actually start real. Tell me your least favorite Twitter mutual.
Is that your truth?
Yeah, that's officially the truth.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Oh, I can tell you. There's this one girl. I haven't unfollowed her yet, and I probably should. Her name is like Shannon, I think. I don't remember her username because I have her muted, but she is a mutual. And she will always send, every time I post a selfie, she'll send me a DM that's like, hey, like you're really beautiful, but this makes me really insecure when you post this kinds of stuff. And so like maybe you should like think about the other people that could be affected from the fact that you're posting this. And I was like, why are you making it my problem? Like, I'm sorry. Like I'm really so sorry.
I'm fucking gorgeous.
Yeah. Why would you tell on yourself to someone who thought that you're ugly?
I was also just like, why is this my fault? It's like supposed to be compliments, but they are really just negs. But everyone else that I know has like had only good experiences with her. So I don't know if it's just like a me thing. Like she just has something with me. So
I don't like that at all. That's
yeah.
I don't like that either.
I've received versions of that myself, and I'm like, well, thanks for letting me know that I'm like so pretty that it bothers people. That's like,
yeah.
I love that.
I mean, it's a compliment in the end, but it's like a weird way of getting one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good, I'm glad that I asked that as the truth, because my dare for you would have been to unfollow the person you've been meaning to unfollow, because I feel like we all have that person, you know? So that was going to be my dare. So this is basically, we got the same answer.
Oh.
Yeah. I just want Niles to reply so that I can tell him it was a joke. If he doesn't reply by the time we're done recording, I am going to tell him it was for a truth or dare. I'm not just going to leave it there. Just full disclosure. I don't have enough, I don't have the balls for that.
That's so fine.
Oh, someone's a wimp. Someone's a fucking wimp.
Yeah, it's me.
Are you a wimp?
Yeah, I am.
Can you tell that I was the kid who didn't have a lot of friends because I was a bad influence in elementary school? Say fuck. Say fuck. Say it. Just say fuck.
Don't believe your thoughts.
Don't believe your thoughts.
So that's my wisdom. Follow me on Twitter. Do not follow Nika on Twitter, but follow Nika on Instagram. That's where she wants the followers.
It's true. I actually it makes my skin break out that I have more Twitter followers. I think I would so much rather be Instagram famous because that's where the truly hot people are. It's where the money is and where the hot people are. And I want
there's no discourse happening.
Yeah, I want to be famous for what I look like, not my thoughts. And also, follow me on everything. And then, but most importantly, subscribe to my OnlyFans for only $7 a month. You can see whole. At Nika Zara, but it's both in my link tree on my Instagram and then just it's like the only link I have in my Twitter bio.
And listen to our podcast, Best Mistakes.
Yeah, listen to Anya's podcast, Best Mistakes.
It's our podcast. Okay.
And then my one piece of wisdom is if you can scam your way into getting a vaccine right now and you're not a wealthy person,
do it.
Go get that vaccine. And I'll go even further to say, baby, I'll help you make that appointment.
thanks so much for coming. I had such a good time, like getting
Thank you
to
for
know both
having
of you.
us. Yeah, this
Thanks
was
for
fun.
having
It's
us.
long
This was so
overdue.
fun.
And all of you should go listen to Nika and Anya's podcast. They have a blast and tell lots of wild stories.
Thanks so much for joining our pillow fight. See you next time. Pillow Fight is a production by me, Yamini Nambimadom, with music by Greer Baxter.